Welcome back to another episode of Carnage Unleashed. You with always with me, Kev and Clayton. How you guys doing tonight?
It's been a week, but regardless, I get to escape my normal life to talk about my favorite sport in the world for an hour. So you know what?
Heck yeah.
I'm doing pretty good. Kev, how about yourself, sir?
I am right there with you, Clayton. It's going to be an exciting hour. I've been looking forward to it. We're in the middle of the week. We're halfway. Everything's going to be downhill, right? Easy sledding for everybody till we get into the weekend, Wade. I hope, fingers crossed, thoughts and prayers, knock on wood. But for the next approximate hour, we've got nothing but good times on the horizon. Well, we may be witness to someone else's very bad time, but I'm just going to save that teaser until the end. Wade, how are you doing, sir?
Doing really well. Been busy. It's crunch time for the wedding and stuff, but I'm glad to be able to take a break and talk the hottest of combat sports with you fellas.
Absolutely.
So yeah, kicked off with I think a pretty good UFC fight night.
Yeah. The biggest gate for a fight night in UFC history was headlined by Derek Lewis in St. Louis, Missouri. Like, is that super weird to anybody else? Like a card that's like not featuring like a Connor up and coming rising type character. Like Derek Lewis has been around for a minute. He's had his wins and losses, and he headlined the highest grossing gate ever for a fight night. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It is pretty wild. I love it. He puts the Lewis in St. Louis is what UFC quoted on their YouTube short. And John, shouts out to John, Bite Size Vikes. He points out something I was going to bring up eventually, so we might as well talk about it now. Nice little intro. Says, if a man fans you with his sweaty shorts, that may be a Second Amendment situation.
It's a little aggressive, but I'll buy that. Okay.
Yeah. I thought Derek was like, when he did the dog pow, like when he was like, staring there, like he was Randy Orton about to RKO him, just like right up it. I was like, okay, dude, this might be a little much. Like he's knocked out. Like the doctors are looking at him. And I was like, but that's all right. He's just living it. He's in the moment. Then he takes his shorts off and then he fans him with his short. And I was like, dude, the disrespect, my guy. Oh my God, what is going on there?
Yeah.
Arguably the greatest. Lino, what up?
Shout out.
Arguably the greatest celebration, I would argue, in mixed martial arts history. Like
he's such a character.
Dude, like watching that live and like he took off his shorts, fans the guy off, and then he mooned the audience like right before he walked into the center of the cage. Like who does that, dude?
Oh man.
Like gosh.
Everybody's going to now. Now that's the biggest gate on a fight night. We're going to be seeing a lot more people's asses in the octagon.
Yeah, we are. He said shout out Popeyes in his post-fight interview too. So you already know what Derek was eating to get ready for this fight.
Oh yeah. But
he's got that same problem. Lino was posting about that over the week where he's just like, dude, I love not having to cut weight. I'm just eating whatever I want. He's torturing some of the fellas on Facebook. It's cracking me up.
Hey, Lino is great when he doesn't have to cut weight and his opponent does. Woo. There's a flashback to when he was on Carnage Fight Series. Weighing in with some chicken wings and a beer, just taunting his opponent. That's some gold selling right there.
Yeah, good times.
Dude is a showman. We'll be looking forward to seeing you next Saturday. I know we're gonna talk about that a lot later in the show, right, Wade? So,
yep.
Can't wait to prep/promo for that Lino bout. He said this wasn't my first fight. It's his first fight, not having to give up weight. So yeah. Enjoy it, brother. Hell yeah.
Cut the weight.
It's called the cut.
That's
awesome.
Like that.
But hopping into the card, start off with women's flyweight, JJ Aldrich and Veronica Hardy. Ooh, even easy names I still can't pronounce. But end up with a decision. JJ Aldrich I didn't watch. I only saw a couple clips of this fight. Were you able to watch this one, Clayton?
I was nuts. I was helping my buddy move and I fell asleep afterwards. And I actually woke up to the third fight of the night, Trey Waters versus Billy Ray Goff. Sad to say to all of my MMA bettors out there, I did lose money on this one. I left the line, but I should have known better than to bet against a guy in his hometown. So that one, I'll eat that one. That one's on me.
Oh yeah. I like it when you said you were going to quit betting, but you keep on doing it.
Listen. You got to play to win. And I did win. We'll get into that in a little bit. But Tabathia Ricci over Tessia, something like that. Pennington, strawweight fight. Close fight. Tabathia walked away with a split decision. So a lot of decisions early in this card. But next fight, Terrence McKinney versus Esteban Rebokvics. I don't know, something like that. Either way, Terrence McKinney got knocked out with a head kick 37 seconds in. Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, Terrence McKinney has never seen the judges' scorecards in any pro fight that he's ever had. Has 15 wins, 7 losses, 7 wins by knockout, 8 by submission, 5 knockout losses, 2 submission losses. This dude has never seen the scorecards.
Wow.
That's
wild.
nuts.
That is unheard of.
I've never heard of anybody like 20 fights in not seeing the scorecards. You'll hear about a guy like can crushing on the regional scene or something like that. Like a Bo Nickel. Nickel hasn't really fought anybody yet. Yeah, he's never seen the scorecards. Whoop-de-doo. Like, bro hasn't faced any competition. But Terrence McKinney's been in the UFC for a minute now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 UFC fights. That's you're pushing veteran status at that point. He's battle tested. A couple good names on here. He's got Drew Dober on here. Matt Frivola was his UFC debut. Another guy who's been around for a minute. So he's got a couple quality names on here, and he still hasn't seen the judges' scorecards. That's nuts.
That is. Wow. Well, that's a fighter you might want to keep your eye on because it's either going to be him going out or he putting somebody out.
That's an under for the rounds, ladies and gentlemen. And gentlemen, I did win money on this one. I bet the under, I think it was under 1.5, and he lost 37 seconds in. So, cha-ching.
That's a dub.
Boom.
And then we had Chase Hooper. He at one point was a really highly touted jiu-jitsu prospect and he went 3-3 at one point in the UFC. And yeah, his first 6 fights, he was 3-3, and he's rattled off 3 straight wins since moving up to lightweight. Kind of dominated this fight throughout. Ariel Helwani said that it was pushing a 10-7 round this morning on the MMA Hour. I don't know about a 10-7, but it was a quality 10-8 in my opinion. So
I would have gave that too.
Yeah, this kid's special. He's with his jiu-jitsu background. For those of you with UFC Fight Pass, you'll see him in grappling tournaments and stuff like that. Super fun to watch. He used to cut down to 145 and walk around at 190 pounds.
Jeez,
that's crazy.
That is a stupid amount of weight to cut.
You're cutting what? That's like 20% of your body weight almost. Yeah. That's wild. And he probably weighed 145 pounds for about 3 seconds. And then the second he got off the scale, just chugging water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to take so much out of your performance cutting that much weight.
Yeah.
Walk around at 190.
I think that moving to lightweight was probably a good move for him. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing him against like a Drew Dober type character. Somebody who's been around for a minute, another battle-tested vet. Drew Dober might be a little bit of a reach right now, but hey, man, you never know. How old is Chase Hooper? He's not that old. He's like 23 or 24, maybe. Yeah, he's 24.
Yeah, 24.
So a lot of time in the sport for this kid for sure.
Black belt jiu-jitsu, yeah. He's got time to really develop and have that potential to be a champion.
Yeah, he does. He really does. And he's got plenty of time to do it. But moving into the main card, This Cuban dude, the Taekwondo guy whose longest lasting fight before this one was 19 seconds, got absolutely dominated by Waldo Cortez Acosta. I've never heard of this dude, Waldo Cortez Acosta, but beat him up in like every which way, man. Like outstruck him, took him down multiple times, controlled him on the ground. And yeah, he didn't land more leg kicks, but like with almost 10 minutes of control time, you're not going to lose a fight. Like,
yeah,
it's that simple. So that's really impressive. I'm not going to say he derailed the hype train of this Cuban guy, Robelis. You guys know. Despania, you think?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just, maybe. I think it, So what, look, Despania? Yeah.
That's what we're going with. Robelis Despania. Cool.
Right.
Like,
yeah, he's a big dude too.
Yeah, physically, this dude's about as gifted as they come. His only problem is that he's 35, but he's 6'7", 262 with I'm trying to find his reach. It's not showing me on here.
Well, there's a second problem. He doesn't know how to wrestle.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
No takedown defense whatsoever. It was
None.
honestly kind of sad to watch. I'm not going to lie. But stayed away from this one because you never know with guys that are like coming in from one specific discipline. Like if I hear of a dude like Israel Adesanya had a buddy in the UFC for a while whose name was Blood Diamond. Kickboxer with like the takedown defense of a 2-year-old. Like wild to watch, but super talented kickboxer, just couldn't get it done on the feet. So interesting prospect. I say prospect. He's 35 years old, but he's going to have to string together some wins here soon if he wants to stick around. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, he doesn't got.
Seems
a lot
like
of time
they're going to
do
have to be finishes too. That score was brutal. There's even a 30-26 on that. Oof.
I was kind of surprised there was only one 30-26 card, in my opinion, to be completely
I was
honest.
too, because he had a nice jab like in the first round, and that was it.
Yeah.
And just was dominated, flopping around like a fish on the ground, didn't know how to get up. It was bad. He definitely has to work on that ground game if he wants to be a contender.
Yeah, he does. But moving into our next fight, Sean Woodson over Alex Caceres. Sean Woodson's a St. Louis kid. Won some money on this one. What I do is I'll throw like $5 in, and then I'll just keep rolling my winnings.
Mm-hmm.
So won a little bit on him. Like I said, I learned my lesson, never bet against the hometown guy. So I think that was a quality decision. I think that was a pretty straightforward 29-28. I don't know how some judge had that.
Sean Woodson is all legs for that.
Yeah, he is.
His physique is strange and like just, I guess, perfect for the way he fights in that division.
Google Sean Woodson, ladies and gentlemen. He's got one of the more interesting builds out there. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, and I like how he's always like distracting you with these, and then he just comes with one without a different angle you didn't even see coming.
Yep.
It's really nice to see that.
And then, guys, the biggest favorite on the card lost knockout late in the third round. That was I would argue that was the fight of the night, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna try on that guy's name, but Diego Ferreira, I think he's 39, which is ancient for like under 185. 39 is ancient.
Yeah.
And
it's
got the crap kicked out of him round 1, and then 2 and 3 busted him up and ended up getting a late stop. Gary Copeland ref that fight, and I was sitting on my couch like, come on, Gary, don't stop
Let's go, Gary.
Don't stop it, Gary. Come on, don't. But he
did,
did, which was the right call.
Yeah.
Like, dude, he was getting beat up. Like his right eye was like completely closed.
Oh, yeah. He stopped at one point just to check that because his eye was starting to swell. He's like, You see? All right, you good.
Yeah, not a great look for him. And speaking of not great looks, let's talk about Alonzo Menifield here for a second.
Woo!
what the heck are you charging in on Carlos Ulberg for?
Yeah.
That is the dumbest strategy that you could have done there. And yeah, you got knocked out in 12 seconds. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, he just head first, like just going. Yeah, there was no technique there, and obviously that backfired because that was 12-second knockout.
Yeah. And if a guy trains at City Kickboxing, it's in the name, City Kickboxing, what do you think the guy's going to do? 7 of his 11 pro wins are by knockout. And he has 2 submission wins, but this dude wants to throw hands. He trains with Israel Adesanya. Like, come on. Alonzo Minifield, no. Wrong.
What kind of game plan were you going? I feel like his coaches were like, you got to do this game plan. And he was like, nope. Throw that out the window. Charge.
Got caught quick. That's the craziest thing about this sport. Like, that can just happen. That's just part of it.
Yep. He went rogue on that game plan.
And moving into arguably the biggest blunder of the night, and we'll get to that here in a second. But Joaquin Buckley, the hometown kid, walked away with a UD over a guy from, I think, Uzbekistan. Great win for him. Happy to see him get a win in his hometown. Why are you calling out Conor McGregor? What are you doing, dude? You moved to 170 like last year. You got knocked out by Chris Curtis, and we're like, all right, I can't hang at 85 anymore. I'm going to cut weight down to 70. Good. Smart. You're not going to fight Conor McGregor, dude. It's not going to happen. Conor McGregor, if Conor McGregor fought anybody other than Chandler at welterweight right now, it would be a dude inside of the top 5. I would almost argue if he beats Chandler, he gets a title shot.
Yeah.
Like, he's so far above you right now. That was just a waste of a call out. And he said at the post-fight presser, yeah, I think I should fight Gilbert Burns. And I was like, yeah, you should fight Gilbert Burns. A guy in the top, like a perennial top 7 dude, like another guy coming off a loss. Call him out. That was perfect. Conor McGregor. No. Wrong.
He's trying to jump on the hype train, but yeah, if Conor, no, it's top 5. Chandler, top 5, or a title shot. That's he has the most pay-per-view buys that brought in over 1 million buys.
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous. He has like 8, and the closest one was 4.
So is there a chance that he was thinking, if I call out Conor, it'll be like shooting a shotgun blast, because there'll be a bunch of other guys in the division who'll be like, hey, dipshit, what are you doing calling Conor? You're not at that level. I'll come for you. Maybe he was just sort of like, I don't really care who I get, so let me call out somebody I know I won't get and see who gets chippy with me on Twitter, and we'll go with that. That's the only strategy I could think. Otherwise, it's just, so I agree with Clayton. Why are you wasting that opportunity? How often do you actually get the microphone in your face with that position to do something?
And in your hometown.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. No upside for Conor in that fight, John says. Exactly, right? What's his draw?
Oh, yeah. There are 3 names in the top 10 that 4 names. 4 names in the top 10. Well, honestly, no. Anybody 9 through 5, I would have been fine with him calling out. Number 9, Wonder Boy. That's fine. Aging vet, been around forever. Sean Brady, perennial contender, just lost his undefeated record a couple months. I say a couple months ago. It was when Islam beat Charles to win the title. That was on the same card. He got knocked out by Bilal Muhammad. Like, that's a bad look, dude. But he's at 8. Ian the Cut Gary at number 7. Gilbert Burns, like we talked about, at 6, and then Jack Della Maddalena at 5. If you want to make a good choice there, call out Ian Gary, dude. Ian Gary for UFC 303.
So he can duck you, and then you can get more positive rub from the fact that you can be another person on the list of people Ian Gary wants to duck for whatever reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Ian Gary has been wanting on UFC 303 because Conor's on there, like, Irish thing, whatever. Call him out. You didn't take any damage in this fight, obviously. Like, how many significant strikes did this dude absorb? It can't be that many.
No.
31. That's
31,
fine.
okay.
That's doable. If you want to make some money and turn around, can you imagine if he won? Because he fought at UFC Atlantic City too at the end of March. Three wins in 4 months. Can you imagine that? How much money he would be making, and B, like the amount of exposure the UFC would give him? Like the UFC was all over Kevin Holland when he went 5-0 in 2020.
Oh yeah.
This would be the same thing.
That's what he needs to do. Like, I mean, that's what I think he was trying to do, but like overreached like by the Empire State Building. But yeah, call someone out, like you said, that like makes sense, and just build and let that roll. And like he has potential. Just keep going, but do it sensibly.
Yeah, pick a fight people would believe that they could see, so that they can get behind your idea and give it the momentum that it would need online to get the traction. Yeah, a bit of a misstep there. Be like, you know, be like us at the end of a show, Clayton and I being like, John Anik, Joe Rogan, we're coming for your spot next week. You know, like, what are we talking about here, man? Come on. That's crazy. Who are you calling out?
Yeah, like there's under no circumstances is that gosh, it irritates me that he wasted that big of an opportunity for literally no reason.
Yeah. Just shouting at the moon with that one. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and he's at 11, so like he's slowly moving up. You want kind of a fun little fight? That would be a fun little rematch, is him versus Kevin Holland again. Yeah, because Kevin Holland stopped him at 85 in that 5-0 streak, knocked him out. So that'd be a fun little rematch. Make the rematch at 70, fun little rematch right there.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, you know, I'm a big rematch guy. You know, I love storylines, for lack of a better term, and you know, in this sport, the really only way to get those is to have sort of like rivalries, right? To have people fight multiple times, talk some shit online. So I love a good rematch opportunity, especially if it's one where both guys have gotten some more fights in them since then. And it's like, okay, we're looking at different versions of these two. It's one thing to do them like back to back, you know, like, oh, I'm going to fight this guy. It's a really big card, but it's another thing, I think, when they can go away, come back, and it's like, oh, we get a new version of this fight. So I'd be interested in watching that.
Oh, for sure. I like those little storylines, like the little rivalries. I mean, you got Iceman, Tito Ortiz. You got John Jones, DC, but DC somewhat bad. Couldn't win. So sad. Still can't get over that.
I never will.
That just brings people in. Just brings people in. They want to see that bad blood.
And then just kind of moving into our main event, Derek Lewis ended up stopping this Rodrigo guy that I'd never heard of. Fan favorite Derek Lewis. Good to see him get wins. He's had kind of an up and down run as of late.
Yeah.
So, good for Derek, I guess. He lost 3 in a row after beating Chris Daukaus to win, to like have the knockouts record. Got stopped 3 times in a row, and then he's 2-2 after that. So
yeah.
Derek Lewis is 39 now. He's, as a heavyweight, you got a couple years left, but he's nearing the end of his rope. So we need to enjoy Derek Lewis as fans while we still can.
Yeah. One thing we did not mention too in his post celebration is him taking out his cup and throwing it at, I don't know, something.
Oh yeah. Dude.
Wild.
Like, I'm trying to imagine, like, I'm a souvenir guy, like at baseball games, like I like catch it, like I caught a couple in-game home runs, stuff like that. So like doing that stuff is fun. If somebody threw their cup at me, like, nah, dude, the guy next to me can have that. Like, no way, dude. Under no circumstances am I gonna grab your cup, you freaking psycho.
Yeah.
That's gross, man.
Yeah, I'm dodging that one too.
Is that a Second Amendment situation?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. That's more of a Second Amendment situation than fanning the shorts, I would say.
Depends how sweaty you were.
Yeah, don't hit me with your cup. No.
Especially after like 3 rounds of sweating in that.
And Derek Lewis is a big dude. Like that guy is sweating a lot.
Oh yeah.
So, gosh.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking those shorts could have been dripping. Like while he's fanning this guy, meanwhile, it's just like his butt sweat is actually dripping on this dude who's maybe has a concussion or doesn't. You know, the doctors, and then you get it on the doctor too. I'm like, oh god, that's just heinous.
That's just a bad look, dude.
Yeah, it's just like, god damn. They're celebrating, and then there's just like, all right, well, you're rubbing it in now, and that's kind of gross, dude. Like of all the ways to rub it, really your shorts. Oof. But we're talking about it, so he did something right, I guess.
Right, exactly. That round out that one. Then this weekend we got Barboza versus Murphy fight night.
Another Edson Barboza show at the Apex. That tracks. Edson Barboza's been around since 2010. He's fought some of the best in the world. Let me read you some of the names on this guy's profile. He's fought since debuting in the UFC. He's fought Ross Pearson, Danny Castillo, Donald Cerrone, Bobby Green, Michael Johnson, Felder, Ferguson, Pettis, Gilbert Melendez, Beneil Dariush, Habib Nurmagomedov, Kevin Lee, Dan Hooker, Justin Gaethje, Paul Felder again, Dan Ige, Shane Burgos, Bryce Mitchell, Billy Quantranillo. Like, this dude's got, like, if you look up battle tested, like, Edson Barboza's name should come up, and that's not mentioned enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, he is his prime, he was dangerous. His stand-up game, his kicks, he was like I think the first one to do a spinning heel kick knockout.
Like, that was nasty.
Disgusting. Like,
nasty.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, how many former champs has this guy fought? Ferguson, interim champ, we'll count that. Melendez, former champ. Anthony Pettis, former champ. So there's 3. Habib, 4. Gaethje, 5. Yeah, this dude's fought like 5 former champs. Like some of them were interim, but like that battle tested. Tested.
I thought Barboza was going to give Habib more of a fight. Because I thought his stand-up game was going to be something that Habib was going to struggle with, but obviously Habib is a monster.
Yeah, it just kind of is what it is when you fight somebody like that. Like, you know what I mean? At least he didn't get finished.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to look for other. This is a pretty thin fight night. I've heard rumors on Twitter that the UFC is trying to get away from the Apex. So good and bad with that.
Yeah.
Chaos Williams is a name that I recognize on here. Angela Hill. Angela Hill's career is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
she's 16-13, but managed to hang around in the UFC for as long as she has. The only other name that I recognize 2 other ones, I guess. Warley Alves, middleweight guy. He's been around for a minute. He's fought guys like Randy Brown, I think is one of his former opponents. And the only other name on here that I recognize is Abus Magomedov. And the only reason I know who he is because that was the last dude that Sean Strickland fought before he beat Israel Adesanya. So I went back and watched that fight. This dude had no gas tank then. I don't know if that's changed, but he went in, like, out wrestled Sean Strickland in the first round, probably won the first round 10-9, and then gassed out. And Sean did what he did what he does, and just pieced him up on the feet from there. So yeah, he's on a 2-fight losing streak, and his only win in the UFC is against the tomato can Dustin Stoltzfus. So not too much there.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty much everything we have with the UFC.
Yeah, I think so.
It's your time to shine, brother.
Ooh,
brother.
Do we?
Or should I say
brother? I love that. Wait, you got something else?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say keep on the lookout. We have Great Promotions the 25th.
Well, that's right.
pro-am boxing. That's where you get Lino. He's going to be boxing on that. I think it's is his first pro boxing?
Yes, pro boxing.
Pro
baby.
boxing
Pro
debut.
boxing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we got Ramel coming back in that show. He fought last time. We got a TKO victory. And then I haven't gotten the full fight card yet, but yeah, there's going to be some killers in there, so definitely a fight card to watch. We'll be streaming live on the 25th, so keep a lookout for the link and all the information on our socials. Carnage Media PPV.
Check us out. Check us out.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Can't wait for that one.
Yep, and then following that one is Carnage Fight Series, June 29th.
It's a good thing we're starting early because we can't overlap with 303.
Yeah, so that one's going to be an earlier one. That's going to be a 5 o'clock start, so we can make sure we can watch Conor McGregor come back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to all of our lovely viewers, I know that that's a big ask to buy the UFC pay-per-view and Carnage Media, but guys, kickboxing is some of the best stuff that we do here. Like, those are some of the most entertaining shows that we have the privilege to be able to cover. So I absolutely would recommend, if you like combat sports, check us out. Angola, Indiana, Carnage Media.
Absolutely.
This will be a banger. My favorite. Everybody knows that by now. Kickboxing is my favorite part to watch, honestly. I love it. Can't wait
Just
to
all action.
All action.
It's just like watching me play UFC 4 or UFC 5, but like real athletes actually doing it. Because that's all I'm doing, man. I'm just out here going for head kicks and some leg kicks and head kicks. That's all I do in UFC. I'm probably the most annoying dude to fight. A couple of punches here and there. I'm just gonna chop you down like a tree, man.
Nice.
Well,
that's all I got.
Say, gentlemen, does that mean it is my turn for the Wrestling Minute, huh?
Okay.
Well, in my attempts to try to make this a little more of an interactive segment, maybe not just tell you about some of the news in the ring, I think something that's been a lot more fun for some of us here at the Wrestling Minute is just to keep up with the old wrestling icons of our youth who are maybe no longer in the business, but somehow continue to find themselves in the news. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, gentlemen, as we look at Ric Flair and his new beef. He's famously had bouts with Sting, Dusty Rhodes, Triple H. He's had all these rivalries, but maybe none quite as epic as his heated rivalry with Paisano's restaurant in Gainesville, Florida. So, to paint the scene for you guys, a couple of days ago, Ric Flair, or whoever runs Ric Flair's Twitter, let's be honest, that dude is not tweeting. He's not posting on Facebook, but someone's doing it for him. And his account posted, if you ever want to have a good time in Gainesville, Florida, I suggest you never go to Paisano's. I spent $1,500 there. I've been treated like crap. I just don't go there, right? He puts this place down. He shits all over Paisano's, who then, in their own defense, had this to say. So here's Ric Flair's post. Spent $1,500 at Paisano's to be disrespected more than I ever have in my entire life. After taking 20 pictures with customers and staff, I was asked to leave because of an issue I had with the kitchen manager taking too long in the bathroom. I'm sorry, it's hard to read. I would highly recommend that anyone... I would highly recommend that anyone who wants to enjoy a relaxing time in Gainesville at a nice restaurant to never visit this place. Woo! Woo! All right, so now, as you might guess, gentlemen, the restaurant had their own thoughts on this. They put out a basically just a post. This is, we're proud of our staff and how they handled this entire situation. And here, wouldn't you know it, is a video taken by another customer who just so happened to be on the spot as well. So now, fair warning, this is from a TikTok, and they don't quite get the auto captions right. So there's going to be a moment where Ric Flair may look as if he's saying something a little less appropriate. He's not being racist towards Egyptians, okay? He is calling this guy a dipshit, and TikTok's they just can't pick it up. So be prepared for a little comedy here. But it's this, now we get to see why and how Ric Flair spent 1,500 bones at a pizza place.
Yeah, good. Well, I didn't do it wrong. Except spend money and put this place over and bring my family and friends here. That is bad for you. Why would it be bad for you? Well, watch social media tomorrow. I don't follow social media. Well, you better.
I love that. Watch social media tomorrow. I don't. Well, you better.
What's your name, nut job?
What's your name, nut job?
Nicholas Dickhead.
Now he's called the manager Nicholas Dickhead.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
We'll never talk. You don't have to call me that. You don't have to do this to me. You're humiliating my family.
You're humiliating Rick in front of his family.
I walked into a bathroom.
Which, by the way, yeah, he's here for someone's college graduation. He's here with his family to celebrate someone graduating from the University of Florida. Additional context there.
You're a kid high cost. Really? What world do you live in?
The bartender said, "You cussed at my kitchen manager," and Rick says, "How did I accost him?" Like I don't know if he's just old or he's drunk, but like he can't hear what the guy is saying, and so it's creating even more confusion here.
How did I accost him? Did I touch him?
You said cuss word.
You know, is that his word against yours? I didn't say
Nicholas Dickhead.
Yeah, I think you just called him Nicholas Dickhead.
What? Oh my gosh.
No, ma'am, I'm going to give you $1,000 tip.
I'm going to give you $1,000 tip just to say to him,
kiss my ass.
So that's why he spent $1,500 at the pizza place, because he left $1,000 flex tip so that he could make fun of Nicholas Dickhead, aka the dipshit.
You walk outside here. I know you are. You're disrespecting me. Telling me to leave. Oh, I'm cut off because I'm drunk. Really?
Oh, I'm cut off because I'm drunk. Really? He's like, "Well, you think I'm here for the pizza? Cutting me off is kicking me out, brother."
Please give yourself $1,000 tip.
$1,000 tip. Now here's where it gets interesting.
This guy and I are so cool.
Oh yeah.
Along comes dipshit.
Along comes dipshit.
I'll say it again.
Now, a lot of people were accusing Rick of being racist online. I want to clear that up. He definitely calls him a dipshit. He is not, to my knowledge, anti-Egyptian. But so many people didn't even bother, and they're like, "How could he be so racist?" I'm like, "Dude, the internet is
Internet is wow." Yeah.
But what we'll have here at the end is someone who doesn't work here gets involved.
I won't come back again. Come on outside here and talk to me like a man.
You take a risk.
You push it.
He says, "I'm not going to come outside with you because I'm on the clock." And Rick says, "Yeah, you are. You're on the pussy clock."
Freaking got him, dude. Got him.
Burn, baby. You see this guy to the left here pointing? He's saying, "Do you want to go out to me? You want to meet me out?" outside in the parking lot because I don't work here. I don't give a fuck.
Only in the state of Florida will you see somebody do that.
True Florida fashion.
Right. And that is the end of it. The rest of it is just the poor waitress saying, "Sir, please don't do that. He's giving me $1,000 tip, sir. Please don't beat him up. He's giving me $1,000 and then he's leaving. Please, sir, stop." And so that's the end of the clip. Is just the waitress trying desperately to defuse the situation so she can get at least paid for this fucking horrible situation. So there you have it, boys. There's my wrestling minute. Any thoughts on that?
Like I said before we started, I've woken up to a couple of bad bar tabs the morning after, but $1,500, dude. Like, and I understand 1,000 of that was a tip, but regardless, $1,500, that is nuts. Number two, like I said during the video, you're only going to see some random guy challenging Ric Flair to a fight in the state of Florida. Like, where else in America are you going to have somebody do that?
That's why they built all of GTA 6 around Florida. They're like, dude, we don't even need to come up with a fake world. Like, it's just, we've got the map right here. It's just, let's watch Florida news for a few months.
When I was on a trip over winter break with my dad to Florida, we pulled into this farmer's market. This was before my mom and brother got there. It was just us two. We pull into the parking lot of this farmer's market, and we just see this dude writing a bunch of words on a sign, like a public sign in Florida. He's just defacing this sign at 10 in the morning with a Sharpie. Let me send it in the group chat, Kev, what this guy wrote on the board. It was, I know this has nothing to do with MMA, but honestly, this is just funny and everybody should get to experience it. So
yeah, absolutely. I'll get it pulled up.
Oh my goodness. But just watching that unfold, and this dude looked like he was coked out of his mind. Like there's no way Buddy was having a good day for sure. Where are you?
I just want to bring back to Ric Flair. I think his little zingers were like, it reminded me of like him, like, got you good fucker.
he lives pro wrestling is what I took away from that. Yeah, you're on the clock. The pussy clock.
Yeah. Oh. Mic drop.
7th grade me would have absolutely helped inflame that guy. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I would have been. I might have been one of those guys, especially. Yeah, like 17-year-old me might have been that. Well, I shouldn't have been in there because there's a bar, but I'd have been like, "I'll fight you, you old bastard! You're being mean to all these. You're being mean to the servers, dude. I'll fight you." Let's see here. I've got the image here. I'm gonna pull this up for us to see. Here we go.
Yeah, this dude just wrote this on this sign. And I remember my dad and I we waited for him to walk away before we got out of the car. And then we get out and I walked over there and I was like, Dad, this is 100% like a drop spot for drugs for sure. Like there's nothing else this could be. We're in the state of Florida. It says paid in full on there. Like, no, we need to get out of here.
That is wild. Yeah, only in Florida, dude. See some wild stuff like that. That is great.
Yep.
I saw one video. The UFC fumbled not having UFC 305 in Miami. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fumbled.
Yep.
Great.
I think that brings it to the end.
It does. Good episode, boys. A little short. So we made it work.
Nothing wrong with that.
Where can I find you, Clayton?
You guys can find me, my personal social medias, like it says, at cscalina12 on Twitter and Instagram. Follow my personal podcast, the Hot Take Sports Podcast, at Hot Take Sports 16 on all of your social media platforms. And I did a guest interview with one of my buddies, CF3, on YouTube. Go check out the Bench to Mike podcast.
Nice. Like that.
Wade, where can we find you, brother?
Yes, Carnage Media PPV on all socials. So be on the lookout as we start to ramp things back up and get back into some shows with Carnage Media. kicking it off with Great Promotions May 25th. So stay on the lookout. And we hop into June, end of June, with Carnage Fight Series, a kickboxing event. So yeah, follow us on Carnage Media PPV, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, pretty much all of them. Just stay tuned because we got a lot coming. Kev.
You can find me on BySideSports.com, BySide Sports YouTube channel. Here in about an hour, you can find me on Dweeb, Han Shot First, talking about Star Wars. We also have another weekly podcast now where we just talk about regular old nerd stuff, anything and everything. The last 2 episodes have been all about the Fallout TV show and how it intertwines with the different games and how it doesn't, and doing theories for season 2, all that kind of good stuff. So go check that out at Dweeb on Twitter, the Dweeb. There's 2 D's to start it off, so go check us out there. I am live every Wednesday right after this show on that channel, and then Thursdays, the Bounce Bite Size Sports, talking NBA through the remainder of the NBA postseason. And then we'll be changing our Thursday programming to be more of a general purpose late night sports show. We'll be talking about everything in the wild world of sports. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Going to pitch to a wider audience, and we'll kind of just be focused on whatever sports are in season while we hang out. You can also watch games with us on our playback TV room. So if you ever want to hang out, watch some NBA games with us, Bite Size Sports there as well. Tuesdays and Sundays, you can find me with Danny on the Clout Route, 6:15 to 8:15-ish p.m. Eastern. Shout out to all of our members over there on the channel. We greatly appreciate you. And any Saturday that I am not with these gentlemen calling a pay-per-view, I am currently the official voice of the Lima Warriors football team. So having a lot of fun doing the play-by-play for those guys. Great squad over there. Looking forward to calling our next game this Saturday, the 18th. I believe kickoff is at 5:30 from Allen East. So go ahead and check that out on their Facebook page if you can't see it live. I think that's it. And if it's not, I sincerely apologize to anyone that I missed. We appreciate all of you so much for tuning in tonight, hanging out with us. Thanks to everybody who popped off in the chat as well. As Wade said, get ready for us to be back in the swing of things. And unless either of you have any final words for the audience?
Nope, just thank you for watching and supporting.
Get your push-ups in, Kev. If you know, you know.
That's right. It's about that time. And until then, farewell. We'll leave you with the word from our wonderful sponsors over at Dubby. We'll see y'all next week. Sports. Are you looking for an energy boost without the jitters? Let our friends at Dubby Energy help you with their fantastic selection of flavors. Just visit www.dubby.gg and use the code BITESIZESPORTS at checkout for 10% off your order total. Again, that is www.dubby.gg. Code BITESIZESPORTS.